Hello and welcome to 9 Months, India's first and only comprehensive show on parenting and pregnancy. Here to talk to us about the very important topics of food, nutrition and health, I'm joined by three very interesting guests. First is Meghna Joshi, who was with us last season also. She's a renowned nutritionist. And the tips that you had given me, Meghna, really saw me through a lot of my pregnancy. So thank you for being back here on season 2. And of course, Amrita Rai Chand, Food Channel's celebrity chef who's hosting her very popular Mummy Ka Magic. I really enjoyed that show. So Amrita, thanks so much for being here.
It's a pleasure indeed.
And Samantha Duggal, who's a yoga therapist and who's going to give us all the tips on how we can lose that unnecessary flab. So thanks, Sammy, for joining us.
Lovely to be here, Meghna.
The baby eats what the mother eats. Now, this is a very debatable topic. You know, it's come up for debate very often right now. Do you think it's true or not?
I suggest my clients to eat everything they want to, but in proportion. And also, if you know that your child is reacting if you're having something, you know.
So be careful, watch what you're eating.
Be careful, watch what you're eating.
Coffee and alcohol, are they off limits?
So, alcohol for first 3 months.
Okay.
Because the liver of the baby is very immature. It cannot take the alcohol. And there have been studies which show that there are developmental problems also if there's too much alcohol consumption by the mother during the feeding period. And also the sleep patterns and the food patterns also change for the baby.
Okay.
But again, like, you know, after 3 months, you can maybe indulge in a glass of wine or something, but you need to time it.
Yeah.
So the alcohol goes to its peak because alcohol goes into your blood. And so when it goes into your blood, it goes into your milk.
Of course.
So it peaks at like after 30 to 60 minutes.
Okay.
And it stays in your system for around 3 to 4 hours. So you don't feed the baby during that phase.
Okay.
That's what people do. But as like for my personal experience, I would tell my clients to avoid drinking at all during when you're feeding.
So, you know, a lactation consultant had told me that if anybody does want to drink, they should keep an 8-hour gap. So you sort of, you know,
so
drink
that's what, like,
a
so
little
4
glass
hours
of wine if you want.
And also now with expressing, there's so many things.
There's
that
so many options.
That's true.
You can a friend of mine has just delivered a baby and she expresses her milk if she has to go out.
Exactly.
And then doesn't feed the baby her milk for the next 2-3 feeds, and then maybe a little formula added. But my own experience, I didn't touch wine till I was feeding, and my baby was on exclusive feed till 6 months, and then I did not give him a formula at all. So only after he was a year old was that introduced.
It's very ironic because I'm not much of a drinker, but when I was pregnant and when I was breastfeeding, I'm saying this is the time I need alcohol the most. And it's so ironic that that's the time you actually can't drink as a mother. But I think our Indian diet is also not very sustainable to a healthy diet, because like even I was advocated to eat panjiri, which is very tasty, but it is also loaded with a lot of calories. So are those foods also okay? Because there's also this huge interplay now of, you know, the traditional way versus the modern way. So a lot of nutritionists will say, okay, eat quinoa or avocado instead of, you know, our Indian traditional superfoods. So again, how do you think all this will play out for a mother?
I think the panjari and all, like, should be like the first 40 days when, you know, you are at the peak, you know, when you're delivering normally. You know, people say that you tend to have backache and stuff. So it really helps because it is the natural way, the naturopath way, basically. So, you know, having a combination of both is also not wrong. Again, as I told, portion control for everything is the key to, you know, living a healthy lifestyle.
Okay. So how was your personal journey with all of this, Amrita?
I was just going to add on to what she said, and it comes along with the personal journey because, like I stated, I ate all the panjiris, I ate all the laddus, and I've always advocated that, you know, there is some truth in the way our, you know, ancestors and our parents have, you know, gone, but there has to be a limit, and I have taken that whole concept of healthy eating after pregnancy as well. Even when my child was born and he started growing up and turned into a fussy eater, that's when Mummy Ka Magic happened, which, you know, is the show that I do on food. And that whole journey of doing that show on food completely changed my life. And I, you know, what I was doing at home and tackling my fussy child's food requirements was something that moved on to my life and to the lives of so many people.
Right.
You know, so, and it's completely correlated, because what I do for children is also just take their fun food and turn it into healthy food.
Okay.
You know, and that's what now I advocate for mums as well. You know, you want to have your panjiri, please go ahead, and fats are very good for you. Ghee is excellent for you. In the middle, there was this whole ghee, you know, fear and stuff like that, but ghee is actually very, very good for you. It's now being touted as a superfood. And all the nuts, they're again good fats. You know, your almonds, pistas, they're all great for you. And the same thing that you want to do for your child, somehow what happens is the mother kind of, after having the baby, takes a back seat. It's all, and that's what I've also done.
The attention is on the
baby.
the
attention is on the child. But at that point, what happens is you just bring in the whole thing that whatever you're working out for your child, just have a portion of that. You know, and
because you'll always give your child the healthiest possible
absolutely
food.
And that's what I have done, and I've made a whole show out of it. And
so you can follow the diet of
I
your
can
child.
follow I do follow the diet of my,
Okay.
because I make him rotis also with nachni at times, you know, so I just replace the wheat. He's never had regular pasta. I've made it with vegetables, and that's what I do on my show also. You know, I do so many of these fun recipes which just take the junk out of the junk and, you know, replace it with healthy ingredients which children don't find out. So if you use the same mindset and bring it to your mother's life, you'll end up, so I make amazing brownies, but I make it with almond flour.
Okay.
You know, and with dates, so there's no sugar, there's no maida in it.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it's fantastic. And my son loves it, and I love it. So, and all my friends love it too.
Please send some our
Yes,
way.
done.
It's amazing you say this thing about the Western and Indian diet and what you should eat.
Yeah.
But like avocado, quinoa, etc., we have everything. We have proteins, fats, everything in our Indian diet itself.
Yes.
You have your millet, you have your bajra. We have so many grains. We have so many fruits, vegetables, nuts. So we get everything in our Indian diet as well.
But you know, the thing is that I'm also not against all the Western food also that's advocated. If you have access to it, there is no harm in having it. The thing that we are trying to say is that don't obsess, with them. You know, like I also keep writing articles and I keep saying that, you know, it's not like healthy food has to be exotic food. Healthy food can come out of very simple ingredients in your kitchen.
Like bajra, right?
Like bajra, there is nachni, you
I
know,
mean, chia and
So even
all
like,
this stuff,
you know, like the buckwheat and amaranth.
amaranth is one of my favorite grains right now. It's my go-to, you know.
And it also has so much
protein and iron,
So it's really rich, and it's much better than the whole wheat flour that we're using.
Okay.
I mean,
These
I
are
quite
small
honestly
stitches
don't advocate too much of grains in the first place, because I feel that that is really, you know, the way our diets are made. There's a lot of focus on grains. It should be more proteins, and it should be. But we've also divided our food into protein, carbohydrate, this, that. So eat everything in moderation. But my personal experience and all the research I'm doing kind of conveys that the lesser grains you eat, the better it is. So you must, if you must have grains, then buckwheat is a good option, quinoa is a good option, amaranth is a good, Rajgira. जिसको बोलते हैं राजगीरे
In
का
fact, these are
आटा.
not even grains; they are seeds.
They are seeds actually. They are the family of seeds. So they are, you know, great to have.
And that's the reason when you even, like, you know, if they're fasting, they eat these
That's why
grains
they say
because
falahar,
it's not,
na? They say it's falahar.
because it is not a grain.
So thank you so much, ladies, for joining us for this very, very special episode. I hope the women who are watching have learned and taken away a lot. I think I did for sure. So thanks again for all your time.
It was great to be here.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
you.
And there you have it. There is no wrong way or right way of being a mother. There's only your way, and that's always the best way. Thanks so much for watching.